All right, all right. What is up? Let me just pull up the chat real quick and then we'll get started. I was just finalizing and trying to share a couple of things. Thanks for coming by. Completely unexpected. And shout out to H Web. Thank you for sending me that. This got sent to me and the person says, it appears he hasn't missed a jailhouse meal. So let's check it out. If you don't know the story, you might have been under a rock, but there's a son, a father, and a mother that have been accused of being involved in the murders of this pregnant mother, Savanah Soto. She was 9 months pregnant, and her boyfriend. Now, they said that the son got shot. He's the one that did the killing, but the father apparently had assisted at allegedly helping to move the body. And I think the mother's gun was used. And that's kind of what I remember off the top of my head, vaguely. I'm a mess. Even my own house, like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, just kind of like scattered, yo. Seriously, I'm like, all right. So we're here. I'm curious to see what this guy had. Somebody say he got ringworm. That kind of looks like you're running his chin. A little like circular ring there. Make sure we got 1080. All right, let's do it. He was bigger before, you think? Tina. I had a feeling that last stream was going to be a little rough. We had a lot of people that aren't usually around come through. But. Are you really ringworm expert? That's a ringworm?
The court's going to call CM 116056 and CM 116070. This is both the state of Texas versus Ramon Preciado.
Horrible audio.
You can have both sides announced, starting with the state.
Austin Strout from the state and Tamara Strout from the state. Good afternoon again, Judge. John Coons and Megan Enriquez for Mr. Preciado.
And we are here on a referral from the 290th District Court. Mr. Preciado is seated and present in the courtroom. These are both motions to reduce bond filed by defense. So defense, go right ahead.
Thank you, Judge. We would call our client who's with us.
Come up here, please.
I hope it's interesting. It could be boring as hell. Oh, he's speaking though, which I was like, okay, maybe that might be. It was the belly match. That's the question. Deaf ringworm? Really? King ring?
Sir, can you raise your right hand, please?
Yes, sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Just make sure to speak into that microphone and do not speak over the attorneys. Wait till the question is asked before you answer. The court reporter can only take one person speaking at a time.
Yes, agreed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, your witness.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, Ramon.
Good afternoon.
Your name is Ramon Preciado,
Yes, sir.
and you're currently in jail on 2 charges. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And I'm going to read off some case numbers. I'm not asking you to know them necessarily, but I'm just going to read them off and tell you what they are. The first of which is CM 116070. It is charged as altering, destroying, or concealing a human corpse, and the bond on that one is $500,000. Does that sound right?
Yes, sir.
The other case you have is CM 116056, and that one is entitled Abuse of a Corpse, and the bond on that one is set at $100,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you have 2 bonds that total up to $600,000. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You've been in jail for how long now?
Going on 42 days. Not sure exactly.
So did you say 42 days?
Going like 40.
So 6 or 7 weeks maybe?
Yes, sir.
And You have not been able to make a bond at the amounts that they're set at right now, correct? Is that correct?
No, sir.
Do you have assets to sell on the outside that could get you enough money to make the bonds at $600,000?
No way, sir.
So let's talk about the properties or assets that you may or may not have available to you. Do you have a vehicle?
They took the car in as evidence, I guess you would say.
So you don't have access
No.
to a vehicle to sell, do you?
We have another truck. It's probably worth maybe $3,000 if we're lucky.
3,000?
Yeah. My wife probably thinks it's a little more, but no, the engine's kind of bad. Transmission's leaking and it's knocking, so, you know, I know a lot about mechanics. It's probably not.
Like the engine is knocking?
Yes, sir.
Do you own land?
No, sir.
Do you own your own house?
It's actually my wife's house.
And there was some testimony by your wife the other day in terms of the house that you live in. Is that what you're referring to?
That is correct.
Is somehow a gift from her father to her and some other family members?
That is correct.
So her interest in the home is only 1/4 of the home?
Yes, sir. It's divided by 4.
Do you know roughly how much that house is worth?
No, not really.
Is it worth $1 million?
No way.
Is it worth $500,000?
No way.
Do you know how much equity there is in the home?
I couldn't say, probably not much.
Not much equity.
No, I don't think anything would be worth.
In fact, your wife is paying on that house, is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
And you guys have been in it for how long now?
Between 9 and 11 years.
Has anyone in your family or friends tried to get bonds for you while you've been in custody?
No,
Is it because the amount is so high?
nobody has that kind of money.
Nobody in your family.
No, sir.
So let's keep talking about assets. Do you have gold bricks somewhere?
No, sir.
Do you have a large cash deposit somewhere?
No, sir.
Do you have a safe full of jewelry or cash or anything like that?
It's all in the pawn shop. Might have a couple of little pieces later on here or there, but maybe $300 for it. They're mostly sentimental value, you know what I mean?
You said about $300 worth in a pawn shop?
No, in the pawn shop, that's the ones I've been pawning them since the end of summer. Things got rough for us, so we've been pawning them, so they're all in the pawn shop.
Just so I'm clear, and it's a little hard to understand exactly what you're saying, but sit down, please.
Sorry.
That's okay. You have some things that you have pawned, is that correct?
Yes, they're all in the pawn shop, yes, sir.
When times were tough for you economically last year, is that correct?
That is correct.
In the summer of 2023?
Yeah, they're still in there.
And it would cost you money to go get them, is that correct?
Yes, sir, a lot.
So you don't even have access to them right now, do you?
No, sir.
You have to raise money to get them out of the pawn shop, is that correct?
Most definitely.
Now, again, you don't have stocks or bonds or anything like that?
No, sir.
Do you have any other assets that you could sell reasonably quickly?
Tools, but again, digital gauges and stuff like that, they're not worth much. You might buy them for $600, $700, but once you use them 3 or 4 times, they're all digital. They're not worth much. You'd be lucky if you could sell them for $10, $20. In our line of work, they get damaged real easy.
And your line of work is HVAC, right?
Contracting, yes, sir.
Let's talk also, since you've been in jail, you've had some medical issues, is that correct?
That's correct.
Let's start with a medical episode you had just a couple of days after getting arrested. What happened?
They were walking me into a room, and I had an episode and I fell back and I hit my head and it bounced off the metal door and I slammed my 300-pound body on the floor and I bounced and a bunch of sheriffs were over there. One of them tried to get me up and I kind of started seizing like this, kind of stayed like that for like, I don't know, a few minutes and I was gonna die. I tell you the truth, it kind of really scared me and I got up and I was breathing real hard and they took me to see the doctor and he said it was just an episode or my medicine because they're not giving me my medicine the way they're supposed to exactly. So like I'm supposed to get it right before I eat or right after. And it's like you really need to take that medicine the way you're supposed to because you go into a coma with sugar. You don't drop that. And I already had that.
So
7 times since I've been locked up. 7 times that my sugar, I'm sweating.
Wow.
This I know for a fact. I was sweating, couldn't breathe. And I even rang the guard. Real nice guy, but they're not doctors. I mean, they just made a.
Ramon, let me stop you for 1 minute. When you went into the jail, you already had some health conditions, is that correct?
That's correct.
And what health conditions do you suffer from?
I'm diabetic. I have high blood pressure, cholesterol. I have sometimes breathing problems.
Were you on medication for any of those conditions before you went into the jail?
Yes, sir.
Since you've been in the jail, have you been getting the medication in the correct dosages and at the right times?
No, sir. Sometimes they're 6 to 8 hours apart before I eat, and that just throws me everywhere. Like I feel dazed, nauseous, episodes. You know, I don't even know where I'm at sometimes. They're walking me somewhere. I don't know where I'm at.
Are you afraid that because of the substandard medical care you're getting that you might have further health problems?
It got a lot worse, that's for sure. I could tell you when I went to a specialist, my kidneys, they're giving me the same medicine they're giving me now, the metformin, and that's what was hurting me real bad then. And that's why I told them that where I'm at, I can't take the metformin. You're overdosing, you're over medicating me. You're gonna kill me. Because it's happened to me before. You're giving me 2,000 milligrams when my medication is nowhere near that, and it's not metformin. Nowhere near that. 2,000 milligrams is a lot. It'll knock you out like that.
Okay.
And imagine taking it while eating.
Okay, Ramon. You have a doctor on the outside,
Just Dr. Wynn.
and you actually even seen specialists, haven't you, in the past?
Yes, sir.
Were you having these kind of fluctuations up and down when you were on the outside before you were locked out?
No, sir. No, sir. God bless my wife. She really keeps a good schedule and keeps me on it, you know what I mean? Even though if I work, she'll call me and let me know.
Are you asking the judge to lower your bonds?
I'm actually begging him to lower the bonds.
And if the judge was kind enough to lower the bonds to an amount that you are able to get out, or your family or friends are able to get you out, will you comply with any and all conditions?
Yes, sir, I would.
You have a couple of different options for residences when you get out, is that correct?
That is correct.
One would be your old house.
That's correct.
The other, if that doesn't work out, the other would be with a relative.
That is correct.
Are you from San Antonio?
Yes, sir, all my life.
Is all your family here in San Antonio?
4 to 5 generations.
And the 2 residences that you have as options are both here in San Antonio?
Yes, sir, they are. My whole life is here. Not to mention I have a sick wife and a sick child in the Bexar County.
The wife is sick too? Wait, he said wife.
And a sick child in the Bexar County. Not to mention I have a sick wife and a sick child in the Bexar County.
Wait, you saying the son's sick too? They all got diabetes? Hey, Remy.
So, Megan just reminded me, there's some testimony by your wife the other day about a bank account that maybe you guys have, and I think she testified it had approximately 3,500 in it. Do you think that that's correct?
No, sir, it's probably negative.
It's negative now?
Definitely.
Did she testify?
So you don't even have that kind of cash available for a bond, is that right?
No, sir. It might have had influence, but we were paying bills. I mean, it is what it is. People have to eat. People have to pay bills.
Were you guys behind a couple of months on your mortgage at the time you all were arrested?
Going on 3 months, yes, sir.
Where were you when you got arrested?
At my house.
And do you remember what day it was that you got arrested?
Not exactly, sir. No, sir.
It was in January, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. January.
And had you attempted to leave San Antonio in the few weeks that this investigation was ongoing?
No, sir. All I know is San Antonio. All my family's here.
Had you tried to get a passport?
No, sir.
Had you tried to book a flight to Greece?
No, sir.
Have you made any plans whatsoever to leave or abscond from San Antonio?
I have nowhere to go. My family's here.
Ramon, when you were younger, in your 20s, you'd been in a little bit of trouble, correct?
That's correct.
And you had done, on the state side, you had done probation, is that correct?
That is correct.
And you had successfully completed those probations, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
On the federal side, about 24, 25 years ago, you were prosecuted as well?
That's correct.
And did you ever have any violations when you were on supervised release?
No, sir. She actually commended me on doing a very good job. Always showing up on time, paying what I need to pay.
You never fled when you had those cases, did you?
No, sir.
You never tried to run, did you?
No, sir.
And you complied with all the terms that the judges asked you to comply with, is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
Do you have a job?
Yes, sir.
And it's in HVAC, or I'm sorry, you said contracting.
HVAC, you're correct.
Do you intend on going back to work if you can?
It's besides my wife and my child. It's my life. That's all I've ever known.
Judge, I'll pass the witness at this time.
State your witness.
Mr. Preciado, now, there's been some mention of your wife. Is that Mircha Romanos?
That's correct.
And how long have you guys been married?
She would tell you the exact date. I could tell you it's pretty close to 30 years. Not exactly married, but together 30 years. But yes, 30 years.
You guys are married?
Yes, sir, we are.
And what children do you have?
We have Christopher Ray Preciado.
That's your only child?
Judge, may we approach?
Sir.
They had another child. So they had like a brother or something. This video just dropped like an hour ago. We're live right now, but this video dropped an
You
hour
don't have
ago.
any microphones here in front of the bench? Just the one in front of the witness?
Okay, Mr. Preciado, so you were saying that Christopher is your only child with Romanos, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought they had
You
another
have other
child.
children as well, correct?
That's correct.
How many other children?
Two.
Two other than Christopher?
Yes.
Okay, what are their ages? It's
hard to remember when you get older. Hold on, give me a second. 30 and 28.
So they're adults.
Yes, sir. They have their own lives. Yes, sir.
Do they live here in San Antonio as well?
The whole family is in San Antonio.
And living with Ms. Romanos, you were living at the residence on Charlie Chan?
That's correct.
Okay, and that's what you're talking about, the house that you guys have. That's the residence you're talking about.
The house she has, yes, sir.
And did she inherit that house, or was it a gift?
That's correct.
So it was inherited?
It was a gift.
Oh, the house.
It's for them.
Yeah.
She had to tell you the details. I don't get in her business like that.
And Ms. Romano, she has been unemployed for about 14 years, is that correct?
I would say that's about right. I'm not sure. Again, I don't keep up with that. I mean,
Well, does she work?
no, sir, she doesn't.
Okay. Has it been a long time since she's worked?
It's been a little bit, yes, sir.
Okay. So since you guys started living in this house, has she ever worked while y'all were living in that house?
She wasn't working before that.
Okay. So who was making the monthly mortgage payments on that house?
Her dad would help us.
And he passed away in 2019?
I believe that's correct. You would have to ask her.
Okay. Was he helping you up until that time?
Off and on, yes, sir.
Okay. So after that, who was helping make these mortgage payments?
You're looking at him, sir.
Because you were kind of the breadwinner in the household.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge.
Okay. And about how much is that mortgage payment a month?
It's hard to say because it changes. I think we started with 11. I think now it's up to 18 something.
Okay. And
So I cannot give you that. I could tell you what's going for right about now.
okay, so somewhere between 1,100 and 1,800 in that neighborhood.
It's 18 right now, 1836 or something.
Okay. And you said you're about 3 months behind on it, to your knowledge.
Can give or take. I have been here almost 2 months, so
Are you aware of any payments that are made towards the mortgage since you've been in the jail?
I think my sister might have tried to make one a payment or something.
And I know you said you weren't sure about the value of the home, but do you have an idea of how much equity you guys have in that house?
I have no idea.
And would surprise you to know that Mrs. Romanos believed it was about $100,000?
She probably would say something like that, but she doesn't know. She's just guessing. You probably put her on the spot. She probably just said something, some number. She has no idea. She doesn't keep up with that stuff. But if she said 100,000, she's very intelligent. She might have looked it up or something.
Because the house is in her name, so she's kind of the one who deals with that aspect of it.
That's correct.
And if Ms. Romano said that you guys had a vehicle that was worth $12,000, would she be talking about this truck with the mechanical issues that you mentioned earlier?
I think it's the truck that y'all took.
What's that?
The truck that y'all took for evidence.
That's the one you think is worth $12,000?
Give or take, it's of 2014 or 15, so yes, I would say so.
But you think the other truck you guys own is worth about $3,000, I think is what you said.
Unless you put a new engine in and transmission, and you probably could pick it up, but at that point, you'll be, might as well get in a vehicle.
And how much do you think Christopher's vehicle is worth?
Christopher doesn't have a vehicle. They would just lend it, they lent it to him, and it was actually my sister's vehicle.
Which one's the one that has baby killer written all over it? Is that the sister's vehicle? I've never seen this before either, like for a bond hearing, like where they go back and forth, prosecution and defense.
And that vehicle's been sold now?
I have no idea what's been. I've been in here, sir.
But you've been communicating with your family and speaking with them since your incarceration, right?
That's correct.
You speak to your son and your sister pretty regularly, right?
To the most part.
And in fact, your family's been helping kind of liquidate the assets you guys have in the house, right?
I told him to move some of the personal items out. Yes, sir. the things that meant stuff to us, meaningful stuff. Not nothing expensive, but just stuff that means something to us. You know, you might have something that you have that you love as you're a child. It might not be worth nothing to anybody else, but it's worth something to us. You know what I'm trying to tell you?
No, I understand. I'm just trying to understand what efforts your family's been taking to sell things on your behalf.
Well, I wouldn't say things, it's just a few little things. They haven't sold anything yet. I think it's just little stuff they put away. So until the house doesn't get robbed, pretty much have an open target. So every day people are doing crazy stuff around there, breaking windows and anyway, other stuff.
Did you, in fact, your son rented a U-Haul truck and to haul all that stuff out of the house, right?
I didn't, he probably took little stuff that would help him out, yes, sir.
But the idea.
When you say U-Haul, you use the word U-Haul, people think it's a big truck. No, it could have been a little bitty truck that he just took what he needed.
But, I mean, the understanding is that he's selling these things to raise money for you guys, is that correct?
As far as I know, he's gonna try, but he hasn't sold anything yet, sir. He's just trying to put little stuff, people could wonder what they're breaking into the house.
And the idea is he's going to store the stuff somewhere and sell it at a later time? And that's what
He's is what he says. Who knows? He'll probably be sitting there, you know, 2 or 3 years from now. Kids say something, they do something else. That's just the way it is. But hopefully, you know, one day maybe get a little bit, you know, we have to buy meds. We have to pay bills. Bills have to pay, you know, be done. Poor people, that's how they do things. Poor people sell stuff to buy their meds. Poor people go and sell stuff to buy food, to pay bills. That's how we pay bills. When you don't have no money, when you don't have a regular check coming in. Do you understand that?
Oh.
Sir, your meds
Oh
are
shit! Do you understand that?
by
Oh
the
shit!
citizens of Bexar County right now, right?
They are giving meds, not the ones I need. Yes, sir, you are correct.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, but in terms of what's been going on at your house, the idea is that everything's going to be moved out of this house and sold eventually, correct?
That's not a true statement. Some things are being moved, little things. Yes, sir.
The plan is that that house is going to be
Here's Carlos's video for this bond hearing.
sold as well, correct?
No, sir, that's not also not true. We're deciding what we're going to do with the house. We just don't want it destroyed in the process.
Have you talked to your sister about selling it on Open Door?
I have, and we discussed it, but there's no final saying. It's just the ideas. You want to sit there and starve, or you want to come up with some ideas? We're coming up with ideas.
So, I mean, that's what's been going on in the last 6 or 7 weeks since you've been incarcerated, is you guys have been actively trying to raise money for your bail.
We have to eat. We have to pay bills. We have to come up with an idea.
Well, your food is being paid for by the jail, correct?
That's a true statement, but again, it's all food I can't eat. Why do you think I'm sitting here, lost some pounds, feeling sick, shaking?
Oh, okay. He's firing back. Accused of moving bodies and hiding bodies and shit. Oh,
By the jail, correct?
That's a true statement, but again, it's all food I can't eat. Why do you think I'm sitting here, lost some pounds, feeling sick, shaking, having chest complications? So when you say that, it is a true statement. I am eating, not eating what I'm supposed to, not feeling like the way I'm supposed to, not taking my medication the way I'm supposed to, and not feeling the way I'm supposed to, shaking, having episodes. I wasn't having episodes like that. I've never fallen on my face, head, and hurt my ribs. I have never, ever
let's see the bruises. I want to see the bruises in pictures, or maybe
Ever.
get the pictures.
walked somewhere and not knew where I was.
Just answer the question that I asked you, please, and nothing else, because I'm just trying to.
I apologize.
That's okay. There's just certain things I have to ask you that are relevant to this hearing about bond. It has a lot to do with money that you're raising for your bond. So that's all I'm asking about in terms of that. But so if I understand correctly, has any amount of money been raised for your bond since you've been put in there?
No, sir.
But yet your son has been off selling things since that time.
If you could show me a receipt, I believe you, but I doubt it.
I mean, he hasn't told you that?
He always says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to get this. I'm gonna try to sell this," but he's probably sitting there. I guarantee you. I know my son. He always says that. He's a workaholic. He works 3 or 4 jobs. You know what I mean? And they're all he paid very little. So, I guarantee they're sitting somewhere.
And prior to being incarcerated, you're aware that you had a large amount of jewelry in your house. Isn't that correct?
Pawn shop, yes, sir.
And also in your house.
There's a little bit left, yes, sir.
And it's like in your pockets and things like that in your clothing.
Yes, sir. When I come somewhere, I'll put in my pockets when I go home. Who doesn't? Some people leave it on the dresser, some people leave it there. Who doesn't?
Has your son been instructed to sell those things to raise money for your bond?
No, sir. If you heard that, you must have heard it wrong. What I said was, put it away. Some of those are family heirlooms. And what I said though, but if you needed a few dollars to get something to eat or put gas, do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Because again, we have to eat. That's just the way it is with people.
Do you support your older son who's out in the real world?
Do I support him?
I mean, financially.
Again, he's a workaholic. I haven't even seen him in who knows how long.
That's the other son. Oh.
Do you support him financially? So I'm asking because you keep saying that you're letting him sell things to raise money for his food and things like that.
No, sir. What I said was, I'm letting him take care of the things. You're the one that said in that category. Yes, if he needs to get rid of things,
Yeah, you saying he's a workaholic, guy was a hustler, a grinder, but at the same time saying if he needs a little something, sell off the family heirlooms, the stuff that has no value or what's the word? I don't know. You know, no value in terms of the family. It's like it's invaluable. But for the pawn shop, you get $100 to get you if you're hungry. But at the same time, if you're a workaholic, you don't got money for food. I don't make it make
he needs to
sense.
get something to eat. And he's not gonna expect to do it for free.
Well, why would he need money from your jewelry all of a sudden just because you're in the Bear County jail?
You're the one that said that he needs money for $100. I said if he needs something, to get something to eat. That's what I said.
I don't know. Are they talking about the son that's out? Or he said he only has one son. Is he talking about the son that's locked up? How's he selling shit? Or is he talking about another son? Somebody else?
Well, again, the question that I asked you was, do you support your older son financially?
No, sir, I do not.
Older son.
Now,
Older son.
have you ever had to deal with bond companies before?
No, sir.
And so, are you aware of kind of their practice in terms of what they require as a down payment for any kind of bond?
I've heard a little bit, but not really.
What is your understanding of how that works?
They want 10 to 20% or something like that.
So 10% or of the amount of the bond.
It's kind of my understanding. I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't dealt with anybody.
I know you haven't, but are you aware if your family has called around and checked with the
No,
bond
sir.
companies?
They don't have that kind of money
Have you asked them to, well, how do they know if they haven't called around to check?
because nobody has $1 million, 600,000 laying around. Nobody.
Well, you know that your bond is right now set at a total of $600,000. So, but you don't know what a bond company would require in terms of the amount needed to make that bond.
That's a true statement, but again, they want to have that kind of money.
Well, how do they know what they need if they haven't called and asked?
Sir, there's no way my family had 100,000, 80,000, 50,000 just to put somewhere. They got kids, they got families. There's no way they could put that kind of money, and that's the truth. There's nothing to say, nothing to give, nothing to be taken. If they don't have it, they just don't have it. Not that they don't want to help, they just don't have it.
You don't know if a bond any particular bond company would do a payment plan, or you don't know what the terms of that would be because you guys haven't called around to check.
No, sir, I've been here, I have not. That's a true statement, I have not. But again, I have not called, I have not talked to nobody.
But you haven't asked either your older son or your sister to do that either, right?
I told my sister to look around, but she doesn't have no idea what's going on with them. She doesn't, it is what it is.
To your knowledge, no one in your family has called around and checked with bond companies on your behalf.
No, sir.
And you said that if you were to be released, you would either reside at the residence on Charlie Chan or with another family member, correct?
That's correct, yes, sir.
That other family member, does that person live in San Antonio?
All my family is in San Antonio.
Does that person live in San Antonio?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that home would be in San Antonio.
Yes, sir.
All right, are you aware of this, like the situation at your house on Charlie Chan right now, what condition it's in?
I'm scared of the thought.
Does it have running water?
Probably not.
Does it have access to electricity?
Probably. I think my son said he tried to take care of that.
So it's possible it doesn't have access to electricity.
No disrespect, but I don't know. I don't know nothing about the house.
I know, that's what I'm trying to say. You're saying this is a place that you would go, but you really don't know what the situation is over there, or whether that's a good option for you.
Well, again, sir, that is a true statement, but I have to live somewhere. So it would be either with my family members or the house. You asked me where I would live, and that's what I'm telling you. I would have to make the best of it.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
And do you have a passport?
No, sir.
Have you ever had a passport?
No, sir.
Have you ever traveled to Mexico?
No, sir.
Never?
I don't know the way in Mexico. What would I do in Mexico? Don't let my brown skin fool you.
Oh,
Yes or no question.
No, sir.
And you said earlier, I just want to clarify, I'm sorry. You said you had a sick wife and a sick child in Bexar County. Are you referring to Mr. Romanos and Mr. Preciado?
My son and my wife, yes, sir.
Why are you saying that they're sick?
Because they are sick. My wife might sound good, but her sugar's out of control. She plays that real tough, but she's not. She's sick. You can see it in her eyes. When she walks, when she talks, that sugar's so out of control. Most of the time, you can't get her numbers are just everywhere. And I know, because I've seen her check it. And it's 300 or 400 sometimes 200, 300. Sometimes she only eat nothing. She's so disappointed. Sometimes at 500. So I know this. And Christopher, he has breathing problems. Sometimes I stay up and just watch. We stay on watching him. Because I'm worried he won't wake up in the morning. And that's reality. And they're both sitting in Bexar County jail right now. And yes, I know what is going on, what y'all are saying. I understand that. But again, they're sitting behind bars. And they're both sick. Whether you think that's true or not, you can check their doctor records. You can check, and they'll tell you what's going on with Christopher. And my attorney will give you a list if you want. And there's nothing to say anything else. I mean, that's the truth. There's no lying. Doctors don't lie. They write it down.
Would it surprise you no, she didn't mention that at all during her hearing the other day?
Again, I told you she's a strong woman.
no. Hold on. What's that? Would it surprise you?
Lying. Doctors don't lie. They write it down.
Would it surprise you no, she didn't mention that at all during her hearing?
Would it surprise you that she didn't mention that at all during the other hearing? So everybody's sick. He probably got diabetes. For sure, probably got it. This woman, he's saying she got it too. And now the son that's being accused of killing a 9-month pregnant woman. Her, the baby, the boyfriend. He has breathing problems.
Again, I told you she's a strong woman.
Just circling back real quick to the bank account situation. You said you believe that your bank account is probably negative. Is that what you said?
I don't know where I'm checking it, but yeah, most likely 90% is negative.
Now, you guys don't have just one account. You have multiple accounts, right?
No, sir. Me and her share an account. She has a personal account.
And then you share an account with her aside from that?
No, sir. We have an account together. Then she has her own little thing that sometimes she works with Chris.
That account that you have together, is that your business account?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is the business that you have an account for? I mean, what generally? I'm not asking for the name of it or anything like that.
It's an air conditioning contractor.
So what kind of work do you do? You're an air conditioning contractor, and you testified to that. You've been doing that a long time, correct?
All my life, electrical and air conditioning, sir.
Who do you contract with in general? Are you contracting with residential people?
Residential, commercial,
Residential and commercial?
just schools, yes, sir.
And what is the name of the company?
Judge, can we approach?
You don't want that name out there, but I'm pretty sure it's already out there. It's public. I don't know why you're worried about the public company name out there. Oh.
Mr. Preciado, how long have you had this account?
To tell you the truth, between 11 and 13 years. Don't quote me exactly, but right around there.
And are you the owner of the company?
I like to say my wife's the owner, but I'm the boss, but yes, I'm the owner.
And do you have any employees
I contract out if I need to,
for employment or labor?
if need to,
Okay.
including Christopher is the one that's been helping me.
And if you're not contracting out, you don't have any employees.
Say it again?
If you're not contracting out, you just don't have like regular employees on the payroll.
Sure I do, me and Christopher, and most of the time me. So we're still considered employees. Might be the owner, but I still turn a wrench.
Is your wife on the payroll as well?
She's not on the payroll, but she helps me with the paperwork.
Okay. And do you know how the business is organized? Is it a sole proprietorship or LLC?
Sole proprietorship.
And so you pay taxes on all that income, right?
Okay, yeah, most definitely, yes, sir.
And again, I know you're saying you're doing residential and commercial, but how do you get business, new business?
Advertisement.
So do individuals call you if they have an issue at their house for HVAC repair?
House, commercial, yes, sir.
And how do you get the commercial business?
Same as the residential, they'll call, they'll ask me questions.
Do you have some regular customers that maybe call you, on an annual basis or regular basis?
Yes, sir, I do, some very good people.
Okay, 'cause you've been doing this for like almost 13 years, you said.
Yes, sir, and again, some very good people.
How much of your business comes from repeat customers, if you know?
20 to 30, depending on the year.
And do you know the balance of that business bank account?
As of right now, that's the account we're talking about. It should be negative.
And do you have any knowledge about what is in your wife's account?
No, it's probably negative too. It was nothing in there. If there's anything in there, it's because of Chris. Chris goes to school.
Now, if you were to be released and Ms. Romanos and Mr. Preciado were to be released, would you guys still live together?
They're my world. That's all I have.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
So y'all would be, wherever you're residing, y'all would be together.
Yes, sir.
So your attorney mentioned your criminal history a little bit. And in fact, do you know the first time you were arrested, what that was for?
I don't remember, sir. I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember being charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle in August of 1988?
Yeah. I do now.
Okay. And what happened with your case? What was the outcome?
Nothing. Everything's satisfactory.
You're on probation, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On that case, do you remember a period of time where you failed to report to the probation department for a period of time?
No, sir. I don't think I ever failed to report. If it was, it might have been the times I was in the hospital. She kind of wrote me off, but then when I talked to her, we cleared everything up.
So,
In my line of work, there's a lot of work injuries. A lot of work injuries. In my kind of work, you'd be lucky if you get home that night. I mean, it's just industrial work, and it's.
Do you agree with me though? When you're on probation for a felony charge, it's real important to follow all the rules of probation, right?
I always do. That's why I followed them all correctly, 100%. They're all satisfactory. And then somebody even got commended on my probation officers, all of them. Actually, I even talked to a couple of them. They're real nice people. They're good people, good-hearted people.
So you were placed on 6 years deferred adjudication back in August of 1988. Does that sound about right?
You have to confirm with my lawyer, but I think that's about right.
Okay. And between the period of April to June of 1992, you did not report to probation, correct?
I don't see the numbers. You have the numbers in front of you, sir, so I'm not sure.
You said that, was that about when you were sick?
I have no idea, sir. It's way back then. I'm going on 54 years old, sir. I barely remember what I did yesterday. So if you're telling me you're looking at the paperwork and that's what it says, then that's what it says. I'm not looking at the paperwork, you are, sir. So if that's what it says, then I believe what you're telling me.
That's nothing.
If the probation department sent in an MTR, motion to revoke, that alleged you weren't reporting during that period of time, would your probation officer be telling the truth?
I don't remember having no MTR, sir. But yes, they would be telling the truth if there was something like that on your paperwork, but I never had no MTR.
And you don't remember having an MTR, but do you remember having to come to court for one, and after you've been a fugitive for a couple months after that MTR was filed?
No, I don't remember. If you have it in front of you, well, you have it in front of you, but I don't remember that. I was, a young kid.
You would agree with me that reporting to a probation officer is very similar to reporting to a pre-trial officer that deals with people that have cases pending, right?
I agree 100%, sir. Yes, sir.
Also,
I'm betting my life on it.
and on that same, around that same time, you were also charged with evading arrest, correct?
Those were all put together. I think you're separating them, but they were all one thing.
Okay, so that was part of the unauthorized use of a vehicle case.
Yeah, there was some things on there, different things, yes, sir.
And then later, in 1994, you were charged with assault bodily injury, correct?
I don't remember that date, but yeah, that's correct.
And what happened with that case?
You have to read it to me, and I'll tell you.
Did you go to jail or did you get probation? Do you remember?
Probably probation, I don't remember.
And then on February of 1999, you were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, correct?
That's correct, sir.
Right. And in that case, it was alleged that you stabbed somebody, right?
Yes, sir, you came into the house. I had to do what I had to do.
And you pled guilty to that, correct?
It was the only way to keep me outside and working.
And you were placed on deferred adjudication for 5 years, correct?
Sounds about right, yes, sir. The judge agreed to meet with me that the case should have went my way, that I should have went to court and fought it. But again, I told him that, I needed my livelihood. I have to survive. You know what I mean? So he agreed for me. That's why I only got 5 years. And any judge would tell you should have got about 10, 20 years probation. But he only gave me 5 because he agreed that what had happened was self-defense and I should have took it to court.
All right. So you entered a plea on that. You took responsibility for that case at the time.
I take responsibility for everything I do, sir.
And you mentioned earlier with your attorney about a federal case that you had. What was that case for?
Paperwork. That same case, something had happened, and I tried to purchase a weapon. I just signed some paperwork. The guy filled it out for me, and I got in trouble for it.
So it was for a firearms offense?
I never got the farm. It was just the guy filled it up. I signed it.
That's not the charge. I don't even know what happened and all that. But like, this was for unlawful possession of a firearm, correct? What were you charged with? You know.
I was trying to buy a firearm. I never got a firearm. It was just paper I signed.
All right. So something to do with firearm. And were you sent to federal prison for that offense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long did you go to federal prison?
1 year, 1 day.
And then you said after that you were on supervised release for how long? How long were you on supervised release?
Well, a year, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe less.
Do you remember like the time frame, the year, or anything like that?
No, sir.
Was it after you were on the probation for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon?
I think they kind of ran together.
Okay.
The probation officer said that we were doing real good, I was doing real good, so they just kind of ran together. They kind of knew each other, so they said, "Oh no, you're a very good guy. We're gonna just do it like that." So that's how it happened. So how they just ran together.
Everybody seems to think you're a pretty good guy.
I would tend to agree, except you.
No, your probation officer, you said they would say you're a model probationer and stuff like that.
I've been in this business for 28 years. I know a lot of good people. And let me tell you, I've never done anything wrong. I'm a good guy. You might have a lot of paperwork there, but that doesn't describe a person. That describes a boy. When a man changes who he is, he does things right. Things happen, and you have to deal with it. And here we are dealing with it. But like the judges here, I'm here to do right. And I ain't going nowhere because my family's sitting in Veracon, let me tell you. And we're going to get through this because that's all I know how to do is survive. And believe me, we will get through this.
What?
In the early 2000s, you weren't a boy, you were in your 30s, right?
A boy of mine, in my mind.
Mr. Preciado,
The age doesn't exactly make you a man.
Oh, you 40, talk about your boy.
Your
Well, no,
mentality
he's 50-something now right there, but
does. I'm a man now, and I plan to stay that way. And I've been doing that for the last 20 years, 24 years, and I plan to stay like that because I have known no other way. When God enters your heart, that's all there is. There is
oh, it's in the name of Jesus.
nothing. As long as He be with you, no matter who be against you. And that's just the way it is.
now you had talked about your doctor on the outside, Dr. Wynn.
That's correct.
Okay. And
Don't ask me about the spelling. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
that's okay. Now, Dr. Wynn, he's with the University Health System.
That's correct. I think he does other practices too, but university is what we met.
Right. And that's where you routinely go for care when you're on the outside.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, do you know who provides the medical care for you for inmates at the Bexar County Jail?
The same.
It's university, right?
Yes, sir. That doesn't mean you're getting the medications right, because if not, my medications would have debris in them. I wouldn't be getting different milligrams. I wouldn't be sick. I wouldn't be thrown on the floor at 3 o'clock in the morning because my sugar is so low. That doesn't mean you're getting the same people. Just because you're getting the medications, you're not getting the medications you need. That's a big difference. If I sold you a car and I say, oh, just put in the engine, that's not true. You need to put the engine that the car needs. That's just the way it is. I'm not getting what I need. And yes, I know where I'm at, and I can't be picky, but I still have a right to live. You can't just give me any medication, especially stuff that's already shut down my kidneys. I have a right. You have a right.
And as an inmate at the Bexar County Jail,
Should have been a politician.
you were getting medical care from the same place you were getting it when you were free and out in the world before this.
That's a true statement, but I'm not getting the quality. That you're not getting the same medications. If you compare the medications, they're not the same milligrams. They're not the same medicines. You can't compare one brand to another and say, oh yeah, you could say that one. That's not true.
Now, since you've been in the jail, have you been dealing with doctors over there that are in the infirmary?
I've dealt with a few that don't too much listen to me, but I try to. I try to let them know what's going on. They're not real. They really don't really pay attention. They just want to give you what they want to give you. But again, I've been around for a long time, and you're not gonna just give me what you want.
And aside from, you know that those doctors that are over there at the jail, they actually rotate out from the main university. You know that?
That being said, that has nothing to do with the medication I'm getting. That's not correct.
I've heard what you said about the medication. I'm asking you a simple question. Since you've interacted with these doctors, do you know that they just rotate out from main university?
I do now.
Okay, but so it's not like they're any different than the doctors you'd get if you went to the emergency room at University Hospital, one of the best
I'm not going to the emergency room. I'm dealing with one doctor that I've been dealing with for quite a while.
So, but that's who's taking care of you. And you said you fell. Did you go to the infirmary at that time?
Yes, sir.
Is that the only time you've been at the infirmary since you've been in the jail?
When they've been sending somebody to check on me, and I went, I think, another 2 times. But I have made sick calls. They don't go nowhere. They just tell me, okay, still sitting in the cell.
But you're not in the infirmary unit right now. That's the jail.
No, sir.
You're in the regular unit.
No, sir.
And
Well, I wouldn't call it regular. There's nothing regular about it, but yes, sir.
do you think you're the only inmate at the Bexar County Jail that has issues with diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol?
No, sir. I know for a fact that I'm not.
It's probably something they know how to deal with, though. They're pretty well at this point.
I would tend to disagree with you, sir. Maybe not in my case. Because if you switch to me and you're the one laying on the floor at 3 o'clock in the morning, can't breathe, with your sugar a little sweating, you would think twice right away. You would reverse that, what you just told me. If you were sitting there with holding the back of your head, thinking your eyes are going to pop in your head, you're going to have an aneurysm, you would change your mind.
And if that would happen to you when you were in the pre-roll, you would have gone to university, right?
If that would have happened to me then, I would have talked to Dr. Wayne and we would have settled it. But no, he's been taking care of me. I have not had that problem. I have not been holding my head. I have not been thrown on the floor at 3 o'clock in the morning. Or they're just looking at me like, what's going on with me?
Would it satisfy you if Dr. Nguyen just talked to your doctors over at the jail about your situation?
It would satisfy me to get the medication I need.
His family here or something? Or a victim family?
I'll pass the word to Cheryl.
You can step down, sir.
My son has a little meltdown, just like that.
His son what?
My son has a little meltdown, just like that.
The hell wrong with this guy?
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. I appreciate it.
I guess he's getting all friendly and cozy.
Here, good night. Thank you.
Didn't hear what he said. My son got something just like that.
Defense, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Rest at this time?
Yes, sir.
State?
The state calls Ryan Rodriguez.
Okay, so I looked up the article to see what ended up happening, right? And so, believe it or not, believe it or not, Judge, this one here. Judge Ramon Preciado court hearing to reduce bonds. Wow. Let's see, did they reduce it? Or maybe they didn't give us a being held in Bexar County or Bexar County. It's not Bexar, it's Bear. Just forget the X. Bexar County Jail. Ramon was being held in combined $600K. The judge has reduced the bond on the higher charge to $350K and denied the motion to reduce the bail on the other charge, making that a total of $450K. If able to make bail, Preciado will have no contact with the victims' families, GPS monitoring, must surrender his passport, weekly in-person reporting, and drug and alcohol screening. Okay. Romanos, also the mother had her thing reduced. Romanos had the tampering with evidence bond reduced to from 500,000 to 200,000. Romanos also had her alter/destroy/conceal human corpse reduced from 500,000 to 300,000. And then her third charge of abuse of corpse bond reduction was denied in the 186th court. She now has a total of $600K as she awaits her pre-hearing in Bexar County. Don't screw it up. No, what? Charlie says, did you see Savanah's mom was arrested at the bail hearing? No way. Yeah. I'm just done for today. I'm here all day. Let me see if I could check that real quick. Believe it or not, I don't really see them getting out unless they work out some type of something, some deal with somebody. Oh shoot, you're right, Carly. Carly, no. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office confirmed Gloria Cordova was arrested for a warrant involving failure to stop and give information. What? Oh hell nah! So while she was going to the hearing, they arrested her on something else. What? Manny, thank you for the 5. Says for someone trying to get out is doing a horrible job for him and his family. But what are you doing about the ones that were lost? True, right? Sheila, thank you for the membership. Michelle NFL, thank you for the 20. I remember just seeing you over on the main channel. I'm so glad to have found your channel. Appreciate very much your professional, laid back, unbiased presentation. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Rat 4, thank you for the 5 memberships, man. Appreciate that. And Itty Bitty Diggy, thank you for the membership. Tina says send it to your DM. Oh no, man. Let's see. Oh. Oh, damn it. Come on. I don't want to do that. Don't do that. Will this work? All right. The mother of the pregnant teen found slain with her boyfriend, Gloria Cordova, was arrested Monday during a court hearing connected to her daughter's death. Damn, bro, that's dirty. Cordova had a warrant out for a charge of failure to stop and give information to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. She was quietly arrested during her hearing Monday to lower the bill for Ramon. Wow. Judge, he lowered the bail. Wow, 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 wow. I'm tired, man. I'm going to call it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for being with me all day. We'll be back in the morning for the trial. I'm going to, I don't know, do a few things, take a hot shower, have a little dinner, and just relax. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I was supposed to do stretches today, but I think I should just rest. Might get better. I didn't finish my stretch stuff, but I think just resting would be better. But yeah, thank you guys so much again. Have a good night. Take care. Peace. Thank you. I'll be back, I guess, if there's a chase. If I don't make the chase, you know why I'm passed out, knocked out. Love you guys. Bye.